Hi everyone. Hi M. Kelly and OP Jaosodo. Welcome to Empowerment Network. Hi Andy.
Hi, Comfort. How you doing? Hi, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you for
doing
joining us
okay.
today.
Yes, doing all right. Thank you for joining, guys. And so we just say let's talk, let's discuss. We just want to continue, guys, to contemplate or that comment on the things that some of the things that the CEO said on Friday by all runs. Andy. When we look at things, and sometimes when you listen to Ash, I think we've been discussing money. We've been discussing financial freedom, time freedom, and all of those things. We've been discussing humanity and stuff. I just want to turn around again because we learned a lot from Ash listening to him. Like this time around, he recounted a few problems, the things that he's gone through. And one thing he said, which caught me, was like, listen, all of these things, I'm happy that they happened because I have learned a lot from it and they make me think different. I behave differently, I plan differently because at first I used to think otherwise, but that is one of the greatest values, because all along we've been counting value from our products, from the OES and so on. But the CEO himself looks as a major challenge, like a value, because it helps him to learn from that. Andy, I just like us to comment on that if you would.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, listening to what he had to explain on Friday and the challenges that he has been through, I'm sure, like many others, you and I would have given up a long time ago. It kind of highlights to me the fact that there are, unfortunately, others out there that don't like seeing people succeed, that want to bring people down. And I find that incredulous in one hand, but abhorrent in the other. Why do people have to be like that? Why can't they be positive for them instead of against them? So what Ash has had to endure is a good word, really. What he's had to endure over the last 5 years with, the staff trying to take over the business from him, and steal information and data regarding the products, and ultimately we've got this issue, or have had this issue with the merchants, and then people from other companies trying to get to find out what's going on. I'm amazed, but like he says, do it or die, and he's got a strength of character I've never come across before,
Yeah.
and it's admirable.
That's very true, Andy, because the tradition here is that when you see many people who are at the top, they would have stepped on other people's shoulders to get to where they are going. You know, not even because the people want it to happen like that, but then they just think that yes, I need to step on your shoulder to go up there, whether you like it or not. And the moment they get there, they don't think of others. But when you look at Ash, given that he's the one who was even chosen to say, here's the shoulder for you to step on it and go up there, but then let's do it together, let's take along everybody. People still go wrong, which means some people were just born to think that to be bad. Unfortunately, that's just the way to say it. We're not saying that we're perfect, but then we think that we at least appreciate what he is doing because many people have been doing it and others are just thinking maybe some people who are already better off because they knew how some certain things work, they are just happy where they are and don't find any reason why some other person to come up there and meet them or what they do that for. We can't tell, but we still admire, like you say. I think we really do admire Ash because he's so focused on the big picture and he still finds joy. That's why he still commits and recommits publicly, that he knows that his journey on earth is to deliver this mission. And we believe that just from his good heart, he's a different kind of person, because he just thinks that because I'm good and I think like this, he just thinks he trusts everybody and think that If I behave like this, why should somebody pay me back with a different coin? But then it's not true. People still show their colors. However, Andy, I think that we should also boast that we are learning from this, because what we look at now as a delay from my perspective is actually just being on time, because if this time is not being delayed like this, they'll not be able to sieve out the bad seeds, because some selection needs to be done. They need to sieve it all out so that whatever Ash is taking along this journey should be the right ones, so that he can finally be able to concentrate. Because for the past years, when he takes 10 steps, people from within, they bring him 5 steps backward. It is not done, it's not acceptable. So if we see from his own perspective, he is learning from it. Let's also learn that there's a reason for it, so that we discover all of these people before we finally move on, and move on permanently, Andy.
But let's also take into consideration, how many companies have you come across where the CEO, the owner of the business, in effect, because he's the one that set it up, the owner of the business is not interested in becoming the world's richest man, which with what he has is more than possible, but is more interested in creating wealth for others. How many companies do you hand on heart can you say that you, small, large, it doesn't matter? I have never in my time come across any company that has any interest in ensuring that everybody that they have within the company um, will make it, will take a share in the business, in effect, because that's what it is. This is different to anything I've ever come across before. And when you then got some of these people that bite the hand that feeds, so to speak, I, I'm speechless. It just doesn't compute. So you and this, and yet he still wants to continue. He still wants to help, even those that have created problems for him. He still wants to do it for everybody else. Bear in mind, the original early birds, the vast majority of the problems that have come to light within the company are caused by some of the early birds. Now, why would, again, I'm speechless. I don't understand why they would do it in the first place, but that's what's happened, and that's how it's worked out. And we know that the amount of money that has actually gone into this just to create one product, let alone a suite. And now to find out that actually what's happened is he's had two teams working on the same product, that's twice the money. And wow, okay, so why do that? What was the purpose behind it? Well, you hit the nail on the head when you said, he's learned from his mistakes. At the end of the day, when you've got people trying to steal ideas or have nefarious intentions towards what you're doing, now he's covered his bases. But it's also interesting to hear that each product becomes its own separate entity, its own company. Now, again, there's a reason behind that, and this is for security. Now, they all come under one umbrella still, and we still have single sign-on and all of those things, but now it's harder, extremely hard, for anyone to then create a problem for everything.
Right.
So there is method in his madness, if you like, but wow is all I can say.
True. I think what you're explaining now is how much he's learning from this, because he's like, all right, if these people think that they can fly without perching. I also learned how to shoot without missing, and so he does that. So I think he is doing a good job. You talked earlier on about him sharing everything with us, and this Collins's expression came to mind. The fact that he's replicating this business and giving it to us for free, because whatever way, if you are a founding member, whether an early bird or a new affiliate, and you have signed up, you are in the ecosystem, you are buying the product, then you own that ecosystem just like Mr. Mufara does. The only thing you don't own of that business is the risk and any other bad thing that is accompanying it. But anything profit, anything value, anything that makes you grow, you own it in that place. Meanwhile, and the many people, many successful people out there today, what do? They give you very tiny fraction of what they have in their hands for whopping sums of money that you cannot afford. You remember last time I was like, okay, let me go and find out how they do this, some of these drop shippings and stuff. What does it take to be part of it? And somebody told me that just for a couple of weeks, I was going to pay, I think the least was 3,000 francs, dollars. And it was ranging, the least was 3,000. I was up to $30,000 or 40 just to be an affiliate. That is how much you have to pay to start off. But he gives it to us for nothing. Look at the sacrifice in terms of money. Now they're building the same thing in parallel to, and stuff like that here and there. That is money. How much has he been spending since 2018 that he finally stepped out, that I am finally going to stand up and start doing this thing that my heart is telling me to do? How much of his family is he sacrificing? The workers he is paying, all of the gifts he has been giving us, all the whole world has watched him do those things. He's sacrificing that. I know what it means, family time and stuff. They know that. I can imagine how many hours he spends with the people from Hyderabad to Dubai to all over the world and stuff. You live in the same building, but your family can't have you because you need to sacrifice that much to uplift humanity, and this is all you get. So we're just wondering what is happening. Let's rather appreciate like he is doing, because when you go proactive and go positive and not get broken down by the stumbling blocks that people are trying to lay on the way, I think that's a sign that people can go far. Ashes can go far. And I think that if you really want to go far with him, you equally want to look at it like an opportunity to learn. So there's so much behind this whole thing. It's a massive package that no matter what we do, like he says and other people say, Andy, we try as much as we can to wrap our brains around it, but it's always like it's quite massive. We just have to learn, follow with him, borrow his mentality and his mindset, and move on, because he still smiles, he still glows, he still looks good, he is still happy, and he's still very, very, very positive and keep on reassuring, because he knows what he is doing and how much he's learning. I think it gets even much better, Andy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's give you a comparison. There's a company that we all know that started off selling books online, and they do packaging and what have you. So there's people that work in the warehouse, and those people that work in the warehouse, they work on minimum wage. Okay, so they have no loyalty to the company. They really don't. And a lot of these parcels, I know from a friend of mine who worked there for a short period of time, they get thrown around. They get broken. The company don't care, because at the end of the day, they just get the supplier to send out another one. Not their problem. And they also have a data service, which is and has been in the past a kind of a monopoly. A system where you have to pay and they come back to you a month later and say, oh, by the way, the cost has gone up. Where else are they going to go? They just have to keep paying the exorbitant prices that this company charge. And 80% of this company's revenue comes through from data centers. And this is why Ash has been building this and designing this so that everything eventually comes in-house. Everything, including we host our own data. And one of the interesting things is that the data centers, the size of the data centers that we'll have globally, are able to host the entire internet. Yeah. And one of the examples I remember him giving was that Walmart are currently charged around 30 million a year. And each of the data centers that are run are kind of, this size in comparison, but they have to have 1,500 odd staff to run them. Ours is this big and needs 3 staff to run it. So our costs are considerably lower, but not just that. The fact that the technology is cutting edge and as high as you can get, the best you can get, laser technology. So we could, again, Ash mentioned this particular figure, said, look, we could charge the company, or we could charge Walmart 5 million and still make 2.5 profit. Well, that's incredible. But this is what he's trying to achieve. He's trying to achieve everything under one umbrella. Because once you've got everything under one umbrella, and I mean absolutely everything from banking to marketing to all of the products, all of the hosting, everything, once you've got that, you are unstoppable. Well, we've already reached that point where you can't mess with us. You can't stop the money coming in because it's already coming in. Yeah. And people say, well, we've been given another extension for OConnect. Oh, yes, but hold on a second here. You've had 2 teams working on OConnect, and the one that we've got is from Team A, and that's good. Don't get me wrong, that is good. That's better than anything I've seen elsewhere. But Team B has created one that's far better than Team A's. So this one is being perfected right now and will go live very shortly. And when it does, the rest of the competition, or the rest of those companies that do video conferencing, are going to have a problem unless they step up to the plate and get something done. So this is it's always amazed me that people don't keep or get engaged with what's going on. They haven't bothered keeping up to date. They go, not interested. Oh, what's happening? Well, you and I certainly have reached that stage where, do you know what? Find out for yourself, because I'm not willing to take your call anymore, and I'm not willing to, send you information. You've got to do this for yourself. This is your business, not mine, and I'm concentrating on my business. And I am so excited by what's coming. Can't tell you.
Yes, Andy. So, guys, I think we just thought that we should step out here and let's have this chat, because if you don't find any reason to keep it going, if you don't find any reason to still be excited, then you were never in this journey in the first place. So think about the sacrifice and everything, and end up concluding from my own angle that nothing has changed. The data centers are still there, they are still ongoing, and we will own it. Nothing has changed. That's why they're still employing new people. That is why, like Andy is saying over and over, OConnect is being worked upon from left to right. And what we have here, nobody has it. I'm still learning and making things even much, much better for us. Remember, tomorrow is the 5th of March, and what is happening in Dubai? There is an international police summit, which is starting tomorrow. And Unpassive happens. Is it starting tomorrow, Andy? I think one of these days. Unpassive happens.
It's coming soon. I can't remember the exact date.
Now, one of these days, when exactly I can't tell. But then Unpassive happens to be one of the sponsors. What does that mean? All connect in front of many more new powerful eyes for our benefit, for your benefit, for my benefit. So some people have been watching, waiting for us to get money first before they join. Join now, because at some point there may be no time. If you remember what I said a couple of months ago, that we here on Passive has reached that point in their journey where they have to choose who they should do business with, because everybody and anybody is coming. Thinking about the summit, the police summit, the international police summit, and what Ron Holbert explained to us last week about how the magnitude of that. I still remember this statement by him, and the Ron was like, if you think that unpassive is a joke, why would the police of all people, be rubbing shoulders with them, be looking at it, be coming towards it for good, for a smile, for a hug, for business? What does that mean to you and myself? We just need to hang in there, keep on enlarging, making our dreams as big as we can, because sorry, we are going to see it come true. So Andy, that was the final one for me, and the rest is yours.
I just want to plead with people, get engaged, look at what's going on, read the notes in the back office. That meeting that we had, I mean, for you and I in the UK, we were up at 2 in the morning until 6:40 in the morning. But I'll tell you what, it was well worth being on, because not only did he answer questions from the heart and give full explanations, he gave us a true rundown of the entire system since it started and the problems that he's had. So fantastic webinar. Guys, go and look in the back office at the notes and the questions that were asked. There are some intriguing questions and some great answers from Ash. So thanks very much, Comfort.
Sure. Thank you, Angie. Thanks for being there. And of course, thank you guys for joining us and all the contributions. Go ahead, keep sharing and encouraging people. Subscribe to our channels, and see you again soon. Do you have a digital blueprint tomorrow, Andy?
Yes, Comfort. Yeah. We're hoping to have a guest on.
Oh.
They've not come back to me just yet, but I'm sure we will have at least one on.
All right. Fingers crossed then. Thank you guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.